All right, everybody, welcome on back for another afternoon meeting here, right here inside our live trading room cyber group and hosted across social media, Facebook and YouTube Live. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. Oof, I gotta say, aside from this last little shakeout on court, I ended up taking a bit of a haircut on my profits. Probably one of my best days ever. Not to toot my own horn a little bit, but not just myself. I mean, we've had a bunch of us in our trading room killing it today between Jose and Norman and Pat. A bunch of us ended up doing very nicely earlier on today. Great to see everybody, though, loud and clear from all. So let's hop into it. We have a class continuing today, guys. Just keep in mind the Phase 3 stock course finishing up today. Just another trading session with the man himself, Fausto. So I know he's gearing up for it. I want to jump right into the gainers and losers list. Court for right now, just to begin with this, obviously it's number 2 on the list for the meantime, and really number 1. I don't know what this is really here. PFH. It's up like 3,700%. We'll get to that in a moment. But Court ended up being a big winner, as you could see, and continuing to push up. This has been like nearly unstoppable. I made a little funny like meme inside the trading room earlier today saying, if Court was a human being, if it was a person, I attached a picture of the supervillain Thanos, right, from Avengers. I mean, really, it's unstoppable. This thing just ended up squeezing up shortly after the morning, just on low volume. We didn't really catch this until like it was around 15. But, hey, I guess never too late, right? Ended up pushing all the way up towards just about 20. Now, the more important part about this trade, not more important, but just as important, because eventually what makes the percent gainers list like Court here is going to make the percent losers list at some point. I know the news that came out in relation to patent validity. I don't have my Benzinga Pro open right now. It's giving me some little issue here, so I can't like load up and copy and paste the news like normal. But patent validity, that's the headline here. So, hey, I guess a huge reaction, up 82% right now and counting. Given the percent, you'd figure that it would be up a lot more than 82% looking just at this trend. Parabolic, up just from market open until now. This thing has just been running up and up and up. So, we've seen stocks up higher percent-wise. I don't know, again, what this symbol is here, up 3,700%. We'll get to that again in a moment. But, yeah, Court, I'm going to put this on our list going into the close. At this point, you got to figure just to follow the trend, focus on the whole numbers, 50-cent levels. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me, A, if this gets halted pretty shortly, or otherwise, B, if this makes a push up higher up towards 25. But, for eventually, where this will top off, this will be an exceptional short opportunity like it was at 20. I ended up catching this from 20 early on, rode it all the way down just about until like 1850. I left a lot on the table too. But eventually, obviously, we saw the pop, the run back up. I tried shorting from 21, and I ended up taking about a 30-cent loss. That was my biggest loss of the day. I jumped in right here on the breakdown. It clipped me. Ended up popping back up. I got out right around 21.30, and from there it flew up. I mean, I guess better to get out there than where it is now. But, yeah, obviously, looking at this, we're going to follow this on the way up heading into the afternoon. And, again, it wouldn't surprise me if this makes the push up higher towards even 25. All righty, so let's jump to that stock. What is up, 3,700% right now? I mean, the hell is this? Prudent Financial? This is like a reverse split or something factored in like that. Let's just take a look at the news. We're not going to put this on the list, but anytime you see a stock up that much, you just want to take a look to see what's going on. And TradeStation, not really giving me much. If anyone has the news, let me know. I don't have Benzinga Pro open like I normally do here during this meeting. All right, NNVC, we'll go from top to bottom here. Like I said, class coming up. So I know the link's already posted actually inside our trading room just before. So NNVC, a familiar name. A stock that we tend to see pump and dump, if not just in pre-market sessions, then at least across the trading session here. You could see, really a few of them, but most notably, you could see going back into the beginning of the year from 4, pumped all the way up towards just about 14, dumped back down, eventually ran back up. But again, a lot of those red candles on the daily chart, you could see those are big days where it ended up gapping up or running up early in the pre-market and then completely dumped back down afterwards. So, got to be careful on a trade like this. Looking at this trend right now heading into this afternoon, of course, we'll put this on our list. Wouldn't surprise me if this ends up pumping up higher than Court does going into the end of the day. Not to say this is going to go up to 25. I'm saying percent-wise. That would be crazy. FEAC, Flying Eagle Acquisition Corp. I remember Diamond Eagle. They ended up acquiring DraftKings, which we'll get to in a moment. But yeah, Flying Eagle, don't know if there's any affiliation, but yeah, either way, not doing too much. Lone Star, LONE, Cheapy. Oh, got a bunch of these FEACs. Oh, so I guess this is the main one. So maybe I just clicked the warrants at first. Maybe I just overlooked that. Yeah, this one's pushing up a lot better. All right, so yep, I clicked on the warrants at first. This is regular symbol FEAC. You'll see that at times on the gainers or losers list. We'll go through one or two here in a moment. But yeah, this one's pushing up beautifully. $14 symbol. Spread's a little wacky. You'll see it open up at times. The order book, I mean, entirely is pretty thin across the bid and the ask. Not really a clear resistance so far. Go through time and sales here brief just to see. All right, 1445, 1450, 10K print, 78K, 7.8K print. So there's some volume at 1450. That's what we would expect, but it just shows on the tape. So for right now, yeah, we'll keep this one on our list, rather, FEAC. All right, jump maybe, we'll look at VRA. So this halted early on, shortly after the market opened up, dumped back down, and looking pretty flat here in the meantime. Alrighty, Smile Direct, obviously looking at the chart, we're going to put this on our list. It is a familiar name for a lot of us here inside the trading room, so that should be pretty notable. Looking at the order book, pretty tight spread. Liquidity is pretty filled in. A 98,000 share order right on the ask, right at 10. We were watching this, I believe, earlier today, and I know for a fact Fausto was watching this earlier in the Phase 3 stock course. We were watching that iceberg order hold, topped off at 999, and here it is again. I'll jump back to this, guys. Remember, yesterday I took my sweet time, but patience paid off. At least we ended up seeing that huge iceberg order on the ask get filled. One of those trades we had on our list. You know, I mean, we took our time, but finally that order broke. I'll come back to this. We'll see if it ends up breaking here live. BXRX, nice run up here. Kind of a spotty chart prior, but for the meantime, we'll pass. We'll see if there's better. VVPR, look at this thing fly back up. Holy smokes. We ended up seeing this going back into the midway point of last week's squeeze up from 5 all the way up towards just about 10. Obviously making that squeeze up and down once again today, and here we are. So pretty similar move to SDC, right? I don't think they're affiliated. If they are, that's pretty coincidental. But yeah, I mean, similar pattern in the sense of the run up, the pullback, the volume really died off on this trade. Like a ghost town here after 10 a.m. But for what it's worth, nice trend up. Looking at the order book, though, like I'd said before with that FEAC or with NNVC, you know, kind of a empty order book, a bit of a spread at times, opening up right now to just about 9 or 10 cents. Alrighty. Oh, maybe I skipped. Did I skip over GoGo? We're not really going to trade it here, but I just wanted to show from yesterday afternoon, this stock continued pushing, and this was probably the one call out I'd say inside our trading room that I was most wrong about. The GoGo stock, and you would figure follow the trend, right? But you know, as much as this was holding underneath resistance here, right around 780. Yeah, 780. You know, I figured it was going to pop. I wasn't as interested in trading it because I figured after the pop would come the drop. It ended up making a much bigger pop than I thought, started pulling back. And I told a lot of us here, you know, I think it's just going to reverse. It's 10:30, 11 o'clock. It ran up pretty nicely over the last few days. Yeah, boy, was I wrong on that. Ended up continuing to squeeze up higher, up towards just about 10 and above. Obviously, right now, pulling back down quite a bit. So for the meantime, I mean, unless if you can get the shares to short it, I wouldn't put this on our list going into the close. I just feel like this will either die off or just eventually just drop down further. Jill, I think, yeah, this was on the gainers list yesterday. Popped up pretty nicely up over $1, pulled back down, a pump and dump. Once again, kind of same ordeal. Pumped up, dumped back down. I mean, little move back up here, but at this point, we'll pass. Alrighty. Let's see. I want to jump to some familiar names here, guys. Again, we have class coming up. I want to make sure that you guys have enough time. I know that Fausto is getting ready right now. He's probably scanning as well. All right. U1, Urban One. We ended up seeing a lot of these stocks moving up today between U1, Carve. We ended up seeing the BYFC trade as well, all move up kind of around the same time. Right. I mean, they ended up popping up on my Benzinga Pro while it was working. But yeah, for the meantime, at least U1, if anything. This one is trading the most volume. This one has the tighter spread, more volume on the book, at least entirely. So I wouldn't mind keeping an eye on this. It's already pumped up and dumped back down. So, I like the other trades more than this one going into the afternoon today. But given the range on the daily chart, just to see this stock, remember, we ended up trading this going back into the midway point of June. I mean, pretty much from where it's at right now, from 450-ish, all the way up towards just about 50 and above. Well, dump back down. And, has had very few up days since, right? So we're not like swing trading this stock, keep in mind. No, we're day trading it. We're waiting for a squeeze back up. I've always said to keep this in mind. If you were to see this pop up on your radar, pop up on the pre-market gainers or losers list, in this case here, the afternoon, ended up popping up on Benzinga Pro. Nice pop here from 4. So I've said the word pop enough here. We're going to put U1 on our list here going into the afternoon. All right. What else do we have? I want to jump to Shell. I see a bunch of stocks kind of related to it. There we go. SHLL Tortoise. Another, I think this is an EV stock, right? Breaking all-time highs once again. I mean, just given the sake of, given the fact it's breaking all-time highs right now, we'll put this on our list. Just want to confirm that all-time high. Yeah. All right, cool. Definitely this one, at least. I mean, price aside, more of a level 5 stock. AMC pump and dump. I was pretty disappointed by that today. Yeah, I thought AMC was going to be one of the better candidates for a really sharp run after the open, but not really like this. I mean, pumped up, dumped back down, and then from this point ended up holding around 680 for a little bit. There was a big iceberg order on the bid, but eventually squeezed back down lower. I mean, recovered nicely over 7, the opening print, but for right now, at least, I'll kind of keep this on the side. Holy jeez. Tupperware is a missile right now. I mean, I make this joke at times when I see Tupperware on the list, but I mean, I guess the pandemic's leading to like a giant Tupperware increase. Tupperware. All right. Shortable too. If this ends up crapping out the other way here off of major resistance at 20, you see a bunch of prints filled at 20, 13K order or 14K order filled, 9.8K print filled. And yeah, again, for right now, it's just about a break. I would expect a pop and drop first test, but let's see. It's already filled, a bunch of prints at 20 already a few minutes ago. Might just blast over and make like a 20, 25 cent move, then make its pullback. All right. You know what? Actually, before I miss out on it, let's take a look. SDC I wanted to jump back to during this meeting, right? Pulled back a little bit, so we got time on that one. Tupperware, right at 20. Let's just see. Kind of like pent up, building up underneath it. I'll tell you though, I don't want to wait as long as we did on GoGo. We ended up seeing that, kind of flatten out under 780 long enough, right? So how about this? We'll keep going. If you guys see Tupperware pop over 20, just let me know. Come back to it. Yes, just take a look at it. Blue Apron, there we go. Familiar name. We called this out earlier. I guess we afterwards, kind of like a spotty chart. Dumped off. Another pump and dump type stock, guys. I mean, be really careful on this trade. I like the trend going into the afternoon in terms of just, what we look for in scan criteria wise. It passes the eyeball test, so we'll put this on our list. This is not really a level 1 stock, so I just say be careful. You saw it happen here, at least going back into, what is this, like March, early April? Of course, for as much as it ran up, ended up dumping back down. That wasn't the only dump off day though. We ended up seeing this stock do the same thing here. pumped up, ran up nicely, moved up higher the next day, dumped back down though. And then afterwards here, same thing, ran up nicely, hit a high, then dumped all the way back down before it closed. So just be a little careful on this stock. All right, guys, I think we're gonna hop over to the losers list. If there's anything else up that's big, 10% or more, just let me know. Man, Amarin, what happened here? I did say this earlier. I said this in the trading room. For as much as we traded this morning between DraftKings, between the court trade, between Neo, those are stocks I'll get to in a moment as well. But, I personally ended up completely missing AMRN drop. Maybe my Benzinga Pro wasn't working at the time, but, this stock is a familiar name. We've traded Amarin long enough here inside this trading room. No pun intended with long, but, more on the short side than anything. More recently, and actually more before that, we ended up trading the stock off good news, off a big gap up, going back into, what was this, the end of 2018? Yeah, summer 2018 here. At the time, it was shortable, so for as much as this ran up, ended up having a great few down days where we were able to take opportunity on it. Today, shortable. So it's kind of flat right now. I'm not as interested in this trade, at least just yet. But definitely want to keep in mind, if you haven't already, have this on your side list. Greg says something about a certain judge being assigned to their court case. All right. Home. Let's take a look at Home right here. We ended up seeing a big drop off earnings yesterday, if I'm not mistaken on this one. Yeah, 24.50 all the way down to low of the day today, 16.50-ish. Bounced greatly from that level. This would have been a great under and over type bounce right around 11:30 Eastern time. It's tradable. Don't get me wrong. 14.5 million shares. Spreads are tight. Liquidity checks out. Price range, right within there. I'll put it on there. I'll put it on our list. I like the SDC trade a lot. I'll tell you that much. Between SDC, Tupperware, U1 trade still, I like that, and obviously my bread and butter today, court. I want to jump to a couple of other stocks that we ended up trading, though, earlier on this morning. Ooh, look at this. Plug down 8%. I didn't trade this morning. Got smoked. Dropped off from 14 all the way down to 12.50. Jeez. All right, this would have been a really nice drop-off, a really nice short trade. Looking at the chart. FCell is shortable. Interesting. All right, we got a Tupperware pop. All righty, folks. From Pat and Kathy. Very nice job, guys. Thank you. All righty. Cool. Got our pop right over 20. Instant move up to 2011. It might have a little bit more room to go, and then I think it will pull back down. 20 is a huge level, so you just got to think about that. For as much as this moved up, you can't keep expecting this to just move up perfectly. But for right now, it's pushing. I said 2020, 2025, so we'll see if it tops off there. Alrighty, and then Dean said on Home earnings, they beat on both earnings and revenue, but declined to provide any forward guidance. All right, so I guess that will do it, right? We've seen that happen often enough too. I got killed on my AMD swing trade years back because they ended up falling in line earnings with the EPS and revenue checked out also, but the guidance was a little off, and they tanked like 15% that morning in pre-market. Crazy. All right, Pat's telling me rocket, pew, 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 as in moving up perfectly. That is right, Pat. I am back in this trade. So Rocket's one of the stocks that we were trading from earlier on this morning. Not really the prettiest chart, really like steady downtrend, but where we had called it out off 32, it made a sharp drop under the level, and then of course, as soon as it moved back over the level, started moving up higher, making higher lows. We ended up calling out this huge 200,000 share order on the ask that was filled at 33.58, and that was from like 8 o'clock in the morning in pre-market, 8:15 Eastern time. Well, that 33.58 ended up acting as a pretty big level. A few pops and drops from that price in particular, not even the 50-cent price. And for right now, finally, we got that push, right? I'm currently in from 33.30. I was in there from 33, and I took profits before because I was playing with court. before I ended up getting shaken out on my last trade, that like 30-cent loss. All right, well, RKT, obviously we're going to put this on our list at this point, approaching all-time highs at this point, guys. All-time high was this morning, if I'm not mistaken. It's got a little ways to go. The technical all-time high from pre-market here this morning is 35.10. All-time high in terms of high of the day in a regular session, 34.42. Traders look at that more so than anything as like the all-time high. All right. Then Leo's saying SPY all-time high, right? So the SPY has been pushing up pretty nicely today. It's been pretty incredible. You'd figure with the good news on DraftKings, right? So I wanted to jump to DraftKings quick. Figure with the good news on DraftKings, right? Michael Jordan taking over, I guess, is like one of the lead investors or so. There's probably a lot more to it than that. But, just that headline alone, you'd figure, this thing would make a really nice run. We called it out in pre-market right off the pop from news. Ended up dumping right back down, right? Well, stock was shortable. So oftentimes where I say, when a stock is pushing up and up and up, if it's, shortable, when's it going to pull back? It could be a good opportunity if the stars align. So shortly after the open, it ended up pulling back nicely, but eventually breaking lower, right from 39. This was a really sweet short, well, from 40, then from 39. I missed a short from 40 earlier on today. But right now, this thing's pushing back up. So, just given the range and volume the stock has been trading, I don't mind slapping this on our list right now at this point going into the close. This one's looking pretty tradable. What else? We had RKT, DraftKings, then Neo, right? Neo. Yeah. Neo trades, I think, just too much volume at this point right now. It's been so volatile of late, so in that sense, it could still provide decent opportunity. I was trading this as well this morning. I mean, this was just such an easy trade based on the big prints on time and sales. 1943 acted as a clear level of resistance. Once it broke over that, ended up running up pretty nicely. All right, from Jose, he's saying Intel worth watching, gap fill, which I know about on the daily chart right away. When he says that piques my interest, but yeah, I mean, it's there. It's getting close, right? I mean, 52.18 was the high back from this day, so it's actually above that right now. All right, you sold me. I'm in. Let's see how often I say that right now, because we got a few other posts here inside the stream on social media, Facebook and YouTube, and then let's see what else from the trading room here first. Wayne says he missed it by 2 cents on Tupperware. It reversed at 2023. Oh, man. If we're talking the price is right, I think I would have won, right? Would I have won or lost if that was the price is right? I was off by 2 cents. It's my favorite game show. Oh, man, 2023. For right now, it's holding underneath that 25-cent price, right? So it needs to break under 20 to kind of make that full-fledged, pullback that I was thinking. All right, let's take a look on YouTube from Trading PC, Saber, S-A-B-R. Looking good. Nice and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, again, I mean, just another tradable stock. Looks great for, level 1 to 2 students, so really good call. I like this one. And then Peloton from Peter. Just a little pricey, right? I mean, it's getting back up there. So this is still an all-time high territory. Let's just take a look then if that's the case at like the rest of them, like AMD. Man, AMD dumped off today, didn't it? I guess that's with the good news on Intel, right? Because when the bad report came out on Intel that led to the gap down, AMD ended up skyrocketing. So that has to be the case. I mean, perhaps, also with a little bit of a dump off early on after the open, but otherwise the SPY is breaking new highs right now, as we said. And Pat's saying NVIDIA dropped a new chip too. All right, interesting. Let's take a look at Penn National Gaming. Another stock breaking, all-time highs recently. It's pushing back up. Again, I'd say the same thing, just, very tradable stock. I don't want to make like a 30 stock watch list for Fausto going into the afternoon. By the time he looks at the list, he's going to be like, what the hell did this kid put on the list? So for right now, we have in total 2, 4, 6, 8. Sheesh, we got a lot. 10, 12, 14. We got 14 stocks on our list, folks. Gene is picking up some great money on the court trade right now. He just posted inside our trading room. He picked up 81 cents. He was in from 21.75. Very nice job, Gene. I want to take a look at that. $21.75, probably right after it ended up bouncing from here. If so, I mean, really stressless trade. Held the whole number, 21. Alrighty, folks. So there's only about 5 or 10 minutes. I think Fausto will begin roughly around 3:05 Eastern time, the latest, I'd say. So make sure that you guys click the link, get ready for class. And again, for anybody tuning in on social media, if you'd like to learn more about Cyber Trading University, just make sure that you guys like, subscribe, notify yourself on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/cybertradingu. Otherwise, we got a big list. Feel more than free to join us live heading into the close. Myself and Rich will be taking care of you guys going inside the trading room here. All right, guys, take care.